Well, what's going on, y'all? Thanks for tuning in today. So, I gotta be honest. I was kind of contemplating whether or not I was gonna record this video or put this video out this week, just because coming off the heels of last week's video, today's topic would be very, very similar. I mean, some of the scriptures I'm going to reference is the same as last week's video. But I ultimately decided that it's important. It's important to really harp on this topic a little bit because I think a lot of people are really misled in this area just a little bit. And so I'm going to discuss it again and we're going to talk about it. So I hope you're here for it. I hope you're ready to have this conversation again. And with that said, let's just dive into this.
But then it's like all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. That means all, every single one of us. And all of us need to be made right by God's grace. And then it says, which is a free gift. Yes. Right. So like the playing field, like the ground is leveled.
Because we're so used to having to work so hard for things.
Yes.
Whether work hard for a relationship or someone's acceptance or love. So when something's given, you're like, wait,
what's
that's
the catch?
not right.
What's the catch?
Yeah.
And that's what I love is like, I mean, you think about like, I'm sure you've signed a few contracts in your day, and I'm sure there's been some fine print that you or your attorney like wish you would have read or had to make sure you checked. And I feel like sometimes when it comes to matters of faith, like we're tempted to go like, what's the catch? Where's the fine print here? Mm-hmm. But like, not to sound cheesy, but the fine print is it's words in red that are like Jesus saying, no, there is no catch. It's that you are deeply and endlessly loved, and there's nothing you could ever do that would remove you too far from grace. But the enemy loves to.
Okay, so before I actually unpack that clip a little bit and actually talk about it, I first want to at least let you know who those people are in that clip, for those of you that are not familiar with them. So the lady, her name is Savannah Chrisley, and that was her podcast. And she was talking to this contemporary Christian singer, Matthew West. And Matthew was saying in that clip about how all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. All have sinned, which is true. And he said, but the gift of God is eternal life, the free gift. It's a free gift. And Savannah was saying, and we're usually kind of taken aback by that because usually in relationships and other things, we have to work for something. And so when we hear something is free, we usually ask, well, what's the catch? Well, what's the fine print, as Matthew is saying? You read a contract and you usually have to read the fine print. And so you try to walk that into your Christian life. Well, what's the fine print? And he says, the beautiful thing is there is no fine print. It's just the words in red. And on a whole, that is true. The whole of it is true because there really is no fine print. You have to, it's all told to you up front in everything. It's not like you're trying to be deceived or you write it really, really small so that you can't see it. But baby Christians, new Christians that are told by pastors or churches or other people, start in the Gospels, read the Gospels. And so you read all of Jesus's words and you're just highlighted, well, Jesus came, Jesus died for you, he rose again, and he offers salvation. That's really the crux of what most Christians, new Christians, are told. And they're not told, or they don't spend a lot of time on some of the words that Jesus actually said, which I actually read this in last week's video, but I'm going to put this up on the screen just to kind of reference it, where he said, in this life you will have trials or trouble, but take heart, I've overcome the world. Now, people tend to not remember that. People tend to think that the Christian life is going to be easy. It's going to be so incredibly easy. Or, like the other one, to take up your cross and follow me. Anybody that wants to be my disciple must take up his cross and follow me. Deny himself. So then there's also, which I did not really reference in last week's video, but Paul, when he says, consider it pure joy, my brothers, when you experience trials of many kinds. Many kinds. So the Christian life is not meant to be easy. But oftentimes, new Christians, they will become a Christian, get baptized, and then once they experience some sort of hardship, some sort of trial, they're like, well, this is not what I was promised. You feel lied to. You feel that you were duped somehow because you're experiencing all these tough things, and you're like, wait a minute, the Christian life's not supposed to be this tough, until you start reading the Bible, reading everything in there, and you're like, well, wait a minute. The Christian life, we're actually promised trials. We're promised that we're going to experience trials. So I don't want us to kind of gloss over that, to hear that clip and think, well, there is no fine print. There is no little thing that you have to make sure that you read, because it's promised in the Bible. Jesus himself said it, that you will have trials. But don't forget that. Don't forget that that's part of the Christian life, is that you will have to carry your cross, that you will have to experience trials, and then to consider it pure joy when you experience trials. That is not really the fine print, but that is something that is not really talked about to a lot of new Christians. And so you feel like you were cheated somehow when you experience trials, and you're like, this is not the Christian life. This is not what I was told. Well, it actually was. It was actually told in the Bible. You just decided to only read John 3:16, or the end, the commission where he told us to go out into all the world and teach them everything that I have commanded you. So don't forget that. Don't forget that. There might not be fine print. But there is print. And it is told to us that we are, as Christians, going to experience trials. So when you hear that as a new Christian, that clip, oftentimes it can be misleading as to the Christian life is going to be really, really easy. It's just a free gift given to you. Salvation is given to you, that you don't have to work for it. That might be all true, but you do have to live differently. You do have to live set apart. You have to be in the world and not of the world. So becoming a Christian requires life change. You cannot act the same. You can't be in your same sinful life and just say, well, I accept the gift of salvation, but I'm going to continue to do this or do that. You got to change the way you live, change the way you speak, change the way you carry yourself, and then consider it pure joy when you experience trials. There's a lot that comes with being a Christian. It's not just all easy. It's not just, accept salvation and that's it. So just remember that. I just want to make sure that everybody understands that. The Christian life is not easy. It is very, very worth it because of being able to be saved and spending eternity with God. But make no mistake, Christian life here on earth right now is not meant to be easy. So just as long as you know that. So I thank you so much for watching this week. Thank you for stopping by. Please comment below and let me know what your thoughts are. And let me know if you have a different viewpoint, a different outlook. And just let's have a discussion in the comments. If you agree, also let me know. And if you have some other scriptures that you would like to bring up that would help actually bolster the point that I was making in this video, mention that below as well. So thank you so much for watching. Please stay safe out there. And as always, God bless.